Hello there guys, hope you're all well and welcome to another insert title here video. I don't really have a title for this, however, I think some of you will enjoy this video. In my previous videos, starting back in September, I mentioned that I would be doing some videos in the Cessna 172, and I haven't got around to doing that. Now today I'm going to rectify that by doing something a little unusual, a little bit daring, and hopefully something that's a lot of fun. Now in front of you, you will see Plan G, and Plan G basically is a flight planning tool. There are a lot of features to it. I'm only going to be using what I like to call the life-saving features, which essentially stops me from infringing any airspace within the route that we're flying. That route being today from Shoreham on the south coast of the UK up to Stapleford, which is just under the Lambourne VOR, which is probably the busiest inbound route into Heathrow, situated just north, in fact I'll put my mouse around it, here it is, just north of London City. So we're going from down here in Shoreham, you can see me circling, all the way up to Stapleford, which is just underneath Lambourne. Echo Golf, Sierra Golf. Now initially you might be looking at this and thinking, oh well, that's not really that difficult, just fly in a straight line. Well, think again. If we depart from Shoreham and we go in a straight line to Stapleford, we are crossing potentially 3 extremely busy airfields. The first one being Gatwick, the second one being Biggin Hill, which is really busy with general aviation stuff, and the third one being London City. We also have Heathrow just out to the west, and we have a bunch of airspace of which we could go inside, but we're not going to. So hopefully in this video you will see a little bit of how to navigate through the UK airspace. I guess I will probably screw something up. It's been a long time since I've done this. Up north we don't really have this level of complexity. So I'll explain my theory behind how we are going to get to Stapleford. The plan is to depart from Shoreham, and we want to end up in this area here, just south of Gatwick. There's a VRP here into Gatwick called Hand Cross, and you can, and we will be, requesting a zone transit overhead Gatwick, the zone being this kind of purple, light blue bit of airspace. We'll be requesting a zone transit overhead Gatwick to leave on the other side, and then remaining out to the west of Biggin, but to the east of Heathrow. We're going to then continue northbound, hopefully get another zone transit across the top of London City, and then into Stapleford. Now, we may not be able to get a zone transit. It may not be possible. In that case, we have to go the long way around. So that is where the complicated bit comes into play. So we're going to plan 2 routes, yeah? We're going to do one with overhead, hopefully with no issues, and we're going to do a backup one, which is going to take us all around the houses, just in case they can't accommodate us. So out of Shoreham, I haven't been down to Shoreham in about 4 years, but here's a VRP here called the Washington intersection, which is basically an amalgamation of roads. We have Orbex England installed, we'll be able to see it. So I'm going to start the flight plan at Shoreham, and then from Shoreham we're going to fly northwest bound to the Washington intersection. After the Washington intersection, we are going to turn right and we're going to head up towards Hand Cross. Now from Hand Cross we will hopefully get some form of zone transit to come out of the other side, and we'll probably be routing over the top of Red Hill. It depends whether Gatwick's on 08s or 26s. We probably should have a look at that in a second. If it's on 08, then we can just cross over the 08 thresholds, and then we can route to the west beam of Red Hill. If they're on 26s, then we'll be going right over the top. And there is apparently a VRP here, which is junction 7 of the M25, which will probably be quite easy to see, so we'll add that to the flight plan. From there, we're going to continue northbound, and we are going to look for a way into City, which I don't think there is. The only thing I can see here is Dartford, but that would mean us going out all the way to the northeast to come back on ourselves. So, from Red Hill, we'll just carry on northbound, and we'll just pray to God that they let us transit the City zone. So once we've crossed over the top of City, we'll be out the other side, and then from there we can just go direct to Stapleford. So that's plan 1. Okay, on to plan 2. If Gatwick is completely overloaded and there is no way that we can get in there without causing a fuss, we are going to depart Shoreham and we are going to track to Mayfield, which is just here to the southeast of Gatwick. Then from Mayfield we're going to track up towards Sevenoaks, and then from Sevenoaks we can go towards Dartford, which is a bridge. And then from Dartford we're going to continue northbound to follow the M25, and then we'll be visual with Stapleford just thereafter, so we'll add that to the plan. So, there are 2 possible ways we can go. I'm hoping that we can shoot for the first one without any issues. If it becomes a problem, then we have a backup plan. Let's talk about altitudes though. So if we just save this as number 2, and let us open up number 1. Okay, so number 1, initially outside of Shoreham, we are fine. There is no real restrictions until we get to this little clutch of airspace here. This kind of small triangular bit here has Class A, which is upward of 5,500 feet. So, as long as we're below 5,500 feet there, it's fine. However, as we come further in towards Gatwick, it steps down. So there's no point in climbing all the way up to 5,500 feet. This bit here, and more importantly this bit, goes as low as 2,500 feet. Even further in is 1,500 feet. So, the advice would be to climb out of Shoreham, and we're going to stay at 2,500 feet, I would imagine, until we get towards Handcross, and then we'll start to descend down to 1,500 feet. We'll get a zone transit of 1,500 feet. Once we pass the other side, we can, if we need to, climb back up to 2,500 feet. But then if we're going to do another zone transit, then we will get given an altitude to cross at. So we'll be kind of up and down in the range between 1,500 and 2,500 feet. Going the other way, let's open the second plan, is relatively straightforward in that the altitudes are pretty consistent. Out of Shoreham, 5,500 feet, dropping down to 3,500 feet, then dropping down to 2,500 feet. Now, the funny thing is here, because of the routing to Dartford, we clip this little bit of class delta here, which is between 1,500 and 2,500. This is a Gatwick control zone, so the Gatwick CTA. And that means that we need to remain below 1,500 feet, or we could just do the simple thing and we could change the routing. So what we can do instead is, after Mayfield, instead of turning left direct to Sevenoaks, we can just kind of follow this A road out a little bit, and then once we're clear of the Gatwick CTA, then we can turn left, and we will be able to remain at 2,500 feet all the way to Stapleford without any issues. So, now that's out the way, let's hop over to Flight Sim, we'll start everything up, and we'll get underway. The flight should take us about, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes, something like that. Traffic and air traffic control pending. So, let's go fly. Okay, so welcome to the flight deck. Now, I'm going to follow along with the A2A checklists, because if I'm doing things on my own accord, you may not be able to follow suit. So we'll do exactly that. We are in a cold and dark configuration, and you can get to that by pressing Shift and 3 and then hitting the cold and dark button. And then from that, you can follow me. So, pre-flight inspection, well, we did that before. The passengers, we don't have any, but there you go. The seats and the seat belts, well, are you comfortable? Yes, you are. So that is adjusted, and make sure that your seat belts are fastened, etc. The brakes, well, they're set, and the circuit breakers are all in. The electrical equipment is off. The avionics master switch is set to off. The fuel selector valve is at the moment set to left. We'll put that to both. and the fuel shut-off valve is currently set to off, so that needs to go to on, and the avionics circuit breakers are in. So we can start with the battery. Now, starting with the battery is relatively simple. Just follow the instructions. So first of all, we need to open the throttle by 1/4 of an inch, or in layman's terms, a little bit. Make sure the mixture is at idle cutoff. Make sure you've yelled clear prop out of the window. Turn the master switches on. Turn the beacon light on. We'll get rid of the and the navigation as well. Nav and beacon lights on. And then turn the auxiliary fuel pump on, which is this one. Put the mixture into full rich and you'll see positive fuel flow here on the gauge. Leave it for a couple of seconds. Pull the mixture back out. Turn the fuel pump off. And then we can crank the engine to start. And then we can advance the mixture slowly in. Now we want to aim for about 1000 RPM, which you can see here, which is about there. Oil pressures, all the T's and P's, very good. Everything's in the green, no issues so far. Now we can turn the avionics on, wait for the beep. There we go. Turn the radios on. Turn everything else on. We can turn this thing on now. I don't know how to do this. I guess it's just that red button there, maybe. There we go. Okay, now we can bring the flaps back in and lean the mixture out a little bit. We don't really need it. There we go. That'll do. Okay, so back to the flight plan. Let's set some sort of radios up. We're on VATSIM at the moment, so we actually do have Gatwick Director on, which is really, really nice. So we'll be able to give them a call. We also have London Control on. Okay then, so out of Shoreham, we are going to tune Mayfield just to satisfy my own sense of panic. So Mayfield frequency is 117.9er, which we'll do on this side. We'll squawk 7000 for the moment, and I am being messaged on FSN, which is nice. What airport you at, mate? Well, I'll leave him to figure that out himself. Also set biggin on nav2, 115.1. And that will do for now. I'll plug in 2,500 feet autopilot just in case. Set the QNH here, which is 1005. The wind here is 340 degrees of 6 knots, so we can take runway 02, which is just off to our right here, and then left down Alpha, and then we don't really need to go full length, so we can go from Alpha 1. Okie dokie, so with that in mind, taxi light on. Turn the pitot heat on as well. Bring the yoke back. Make sure the trim is set for takeoff, which it is. Excelente. We can release the parking brake now. Slowly roll forward. Turn to the right. We go left here on Alpha. Helicopter there, look at that. It's ready to go. So while we're taxiing, we can quickly check the flight controls. Everything is working as it should be. There's a chopper there on the left. Our Gatwick frequency is 126.825, so we can tune that in there. We also have London on as well, but you might be a bit busy for us, so we'll see what happens. London information is on as well. Oh wow, this is great. I don't think we'll get a chance to call them though, sadly. Because from Gatwick northbound is going to be speaking to London. And then out the other side of London City, it's straight into Stapleford, which is sad. But maybe we'll do something else with London information on. Maybe I'll record a video for another day. So, I am ready. Are you? Bring the mixture back in now. Now, I don't think there's a designated run-up here. Oh, there is. It's there. Okay, we'll use it. We'll go full length because we'll use that run-up there. So, the wind is coming from the north, so we'll spin it round into the wind. Essentially a 180 facing the other way. Okay. Parking brake set. So we'll do a mags check just before we get underway. So hide the throttles a sec. We'll power up to about 1800 RPM. 16, 17. That's all fine. Select left mag. It says in here not more than 150 RPM drop. Or 50 between each, so that's fine. We only lost about 50 there for one on its own, so that's all good. I'll go back to both. And then we'll go to the right one. This is all good. Excellent. Okay. Bring it back now to about 1000. Vacuum gauge checked, engine instruments and the ammeter is checked, and we are ready to go. So strobe lights, landing lights, park brake released again, and we'll taxi down to the end. Actually, we could just taxi on here. From here we don't need to go to the end. Approach path is clear, which it is. Nice squeal of the brakes there. Disgracefully bad lineup. Okie dokie. knots. Okay, so well above 500 feet now. Start making the turn. Visibility is shockingly bad. But we can deal with that. Climb up to about 2,500 feet. About 1,000 feet to go according to the other pilot. Trim as you need to. Feet to go, start to level off. Trim, there we go. Okay, so the Washington intersection, I'm guessing, will be off to our left somewhere. I'm told you can see it quite well. Now remember, we have an altitude restriction of 5,500 feet here, so busting a couple of 100 feet here and there is not going to make much of a difference, although it's a terrible habit to get into. But you're not going to get shouted at for it. There's an A road just underneath us here. You look down here, kind of see it there. We follow that, that will eventually lead up to the intersection. Now we can turn right and head towards Gatwick. So, while we're doing that, we will tune Gatwick Director. We'll see what he's up to. See if he's got anything to say. He doesn't have any traffic at the moment, so... Tell you what we will do is we'll go and find out what the ATIS is landing. Although we could probably just listen to him and he'll tell an aircraft. But let's just go find it anyway. So 134.22. Let me just trim this up a little bit. 134.22.
Degrees, visibility 10 kilometers or more, view 3,100 feet, scattered 3,800 feet, temperature +15, dew point +6 QNH 1004, acknowledge receipt of information, Oscar, and advise aircraft type on first contact, Gatwick, information, Oscar, time 1520, runway is 26 left. Surface wind 160, 12 knots, varying between 140 and 210 degrees, visibility 10 kilometers.
Okay, so they are using runway 26 left.
Feet, scattered 3,800 feet, temperature.
which is good for us. It means we get more of a direct routing. I mean, marginally, but still. $2,500 feet. We're just past the Washington intersection. I don't know if you caught that then out the window. I should have pointed it out, but I was listening to the 80s. It was just behind us. I don't think we can get a view of it now. Just all that amalgamation of roads down there, just there. So yeah, everything is going to plan.
Sorry, was that Speedbird 5 Alpha Lima calling? Yeah, Speedbird 5 Alpha Lima, from stand 551, push start is approved, face east.
Okay guys, bit of a change of plan. I was just, although not realistically, messaged by Gatwick Director, and he advised me that it wasn't really possible to get the overhead transit at the moment because he's controlling top down and it's a little bit busy. So we are switching to plan number 2, which means that we have to go the long way around. It's not too bad, don't worry, you know, it happens. So we are going to track Mayfield. We have it tuned in. We just need to figure out exactly where it is. So let's just see. Okay, so we want to fly about 070, 080, something like that. So we'll turn to the right and we'll track to Mayfield. Now, if we track Mayfield from our present position, we know that as long as we remain below 2,500 feet, we're not infringing anything. So that's great. London information is online on 124.6. I just tuned him into my radio, and we'll give him a call and we'll see what he has to say. It is a non-radar position, so they don't really have any sort of authority. It's just an advisory service. Okay, so let's give him a call and see what happens. London information, good afternoon, Golf Oscar Whiskey Sierra Tango, basic service.
Tango London information. Hello, pass your details.
Golf Oscar Whiskey Sierra Tango, Cessna 172, Shoreham to Stapleford, altitude 2,500 feet, just to the east, sorry, to the west of the Mayfield on QNH 1015. We're estimating Mayfield on the hour, request a basic service.
Sierra Tango, it's basic service. Squawk 1177 with Rose Charlie. The London QNH is 1003 Hector Pascal. Report Mayfield.
Squawk 1177, we got the QNH and we'll report to Mayfield, Golf Sierra Tango. So 1177, Charlie is online. And to report Mayfield. We did tell him we'll be at 2,500 feet, so we're going to climb to that. To be honest, so the basic controlled airspace here is 2,500 feet, so sticking on the upper limit of it probably isn't the best idea. So 100 feet below is definitely a safer option. Okay, so we're level at 2,500 feet. Start to wind the mixture back a little bit. Get a nice decent fuel flow. Very nice. Lovely West Sussex countryside, if you could call it that. The visibility isn't great, but it's flyable. London Information, Golf Oscar Whiskey Sierra Tango is just approaching the overhead of Mayfield, routing towards Seven Oaks, then onwards to Dartford Bridge. Estimating Seven Oaks at time 15.
Golf Sierra Tango, thank you. Report 7 Oaks.
Report 7 Oaks, Golf Sierra Tango. Okay, so there we go. That's Mayfield. Plan G telling us we're overhead Mayfield. Good stuff. We're going to keep on this easterly heading, or this northeasterly heading, just for a little while, because... Can we bring this up as a 2D? Yes, we can. Okay. If you see here, this bit of airspace inside of that is 1,500 feet, and I don't want to touch it. And because of the position of Seven Oaks, it's kind of up here a little bit. If we just continue out on the easterly heading and then turn to the north, then we'll miss this bit of airspace, and we won't get shouted at. So that's the plan. So we're just approaching Seven Oaks now, just off to our left-hand side. And we are looking now for the M25. This A road goes off into the distance, and then just somewhere over here we will see the M26, and then just forking off from that will be the M25. We will be following the M25 up towards Dartford Bridge, and then from Dartford Bridge we will be descending down to Stapleford. London Information, Golf Oscar Whiskey Sierra Tango. Overhead 7 Oaks, routing to Dartford Bridge, and estimating Dartford at 1720.
Golf Sierra Tango, thank you. The London QNH remains 1004 hectopascals. Report overhead to Dartford Bridge.
QNH 1004 and report overhead at Dartford Bridge, Golf Sierra Tango. Sweet! It's easy as that. So now we're routing towards Dartford Bridge, and then from Dartford Bridge we are, as I said, continuing down or up the M6. M6? This is why I shouldn't fly in the south. The M6 is where I live. Continuing up the M25. And then Stapleford is about another 5 minutes up the M25. Look at all the cars on the motorway. It's probably like 12 times busier than that in real life. And up ahead is this road here is the A2, crosses, and then it goes into a motorway further down the road. London Information, Golf Oscar Sierra Tango is just overhead Dartford Bridge now, and we're routing direct to Lambourne for Stapleford. Estimating Stapleford at 25.
Golf Sierra Tango, the last part of your message is garbled. Say again.
Golf Oscar Sierra Tango, overhead Dartford Bridge, routing now direct to Lambourne for Stapleford, and estimating Stapleford at time 25.
Golf Sierra Tango, that's copied. London City are reporting winds 170 degrees, 14 knots. Report with Stapleford inside.
That's copied, we'll report Stapleford inside, Golf Sierra Tango. Okay, so it's just a case now of following the M25 and, or thereabouts, Stapleford we'll see soon enough. There's a nice view of Romford for you, not that you would ever want one, but there you go. Golf Sierra Tango, we have the field.
Golf Sierra Tango, Squawk 7000, monitor Unicom on 122 days to Malay. Safe landing.
7000 and over to Unicom, Golf Sierra Tango. Thanks for your help, bye-bye. So over to 7000 we go. Now we've descended to a reasonable altitude. I kind of want to identify which runway to use. There's Plan G telling us. We'll idle the power, put the mixture back in now, because save's doing it when we're about to touch down or just before. My frame rate is going to crap, and I don't know why. There's that grass runway I was talking about. Let's bank the wing to the left a little bit and we'll see it. See, it kind of goes half. It's weird. It's so weird. But anyway, it's a westerly wind, so we can chuck it around over the M25 again. Okay, the frame rate's not too bad now. It's kind of fixed itself. It's a westerly wind, so we'll turn right and we'll fly away to the east, and then we'll turn back around and we'll land on the westerly runway. I don't even know what runway it is. It is a runway, I know that much. It's a pretty nice area though, Stapleford. It's just far enough away from London that you don't get destroyed by the hardcore businesses and lots of people. I can't stand lots of people. So we'll start to turn round now. It's coming past 1,000 feet. Look over there, see if we can see the airfield still. It's knocking around somewhere, but where is it? Bring out flap 10. There's the M25, and we know it was near the M25, so we won't be too far away. There we go. So that's some form of a base leg. Okay, just keep the turn coming round. Keep the descent rate up. Idle the power a little bit. Get a nice descent rate going. Start the turn inwards. Pretty short runway this actually, and there's a nice amount of tree just before you touch down, which is always fun. So this could prove interesting. Round we go. Turn coming all the way around. Line up. Oh, there's a Cessna taxiing out. That's very cool. Watch those trees. Trees in the way. Nice. Oh, this is a bit of a short runway, so we have to be careful that we don't overshoot. Drift it down. A little bit of a flare. And get down, please. Thank you. Good old AccuFeel physics of grass runways. Very nice. Good. Now we've got to find a way of getting off this runway. That's going to be interesting. So we'll spin it round. I didn't see anything on the rollout, so I'm hoping there's some form of cut grass area. And this guy's going to have to wait a minute while I backtrack. Or maybe he won't wait a minute and he'll just take off. Is that a bit in the grass there? Nope. God damn it. Where do we vacate? Unless I... yeah, okay. Good airmanship. I'll stick to the left, you stick to your left. Nice, look at that. There he goes. In a bit. Oh, there's another Cessna. Jesus Christ, it's busy. He's going off the other runway, it looks like. I don't know where he's off to. Oh, we just floated into the air. That was interesting. Seriously, how do I get off this damn runway? Anyway, there'll be an exit. I hope you enjoyed that. It was pretty fun. I'm I'm going to do some more of this stuff. I'll kind of want to refine my style, so we'll see. I know it wasn't perfect. It never will be. It's YouTube and it's flight sim. As always, if you enjoyed it and you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you need me, I am always available on Facebook and Twitter, and of course, live streams on Twitch. It has been a pleasure. You are all legends. Until next time, take care. See you later, guys.